With family budgets stretched by rising consumer costs, Costco is expanding, a sign its big box business is booming.
Imagine walking into Costco, that concrete cathedral of bulk bargains and jumbo carts, where everything from supplements to nut butters promises a healthier life. The air smells like rotisserie chicken and good intentions. You tell yourself, this place is America's health headquarters. But here's the jaw dropper. Half a world away, in Europe, some of these healthy Costco favorites are flat out banned, not restricted. Not frowned upon, banned. While Americans toss them into carts and feel virtuous, European shoppers see flashing hazard signs. Because across the Atlantic, regulators follow a different rulebook, one that often puts safety ahead of sales. So today, on Frugal Finds for You, we're rolling down Costco's aisles to reveal the foods Europe says absolutely not to. And the reasons might change how you shop your next healthy haul. If even one example here surprises you, tap subscribe to Frugal Finds for You. We don't just hunt deals. We protect your wallet and your well-being with eyes wide open. Let's start with the one hiding in every gym bag and office drawer, Kirkland Signature Protein Bars. On paper, they look flawless, high protein, low sugar, gluten-free, guilt-free. In practice, the formula leans hard on sucralose and acetylsulfame potassium, artificial sweeteners that European regulators scrutinize far more strictly, with warning labels or restrictions you won't see here. Why the concern? Sucralose has been tied in research to shifts in gut bacteria and potential effects on insulin response. That's not the fit fuel story the marketing tells. Over there, the view is simple. If a sweetener raises red flags, you scale it back or label it loudly. Over here, it breezes right onto the shelf. And those 16 grams of fiber that sound so virtuous. They often come from isolated fibers and processed bulking agents rather than whole food sources like oats, legumes, or flax. The result can feel like hiring a marching band for your digestive system. Loud, chaotic, and impossible to ignore. European shoppers prefer classic, minimally processed fiber from actual food. Less turbulence, more nourishment. Now, leave the snack aisle and head to cooking staples. Sitting innocently on the shelf is Kirkland vegetable oil, cooking spray, a pantry hero in millions of American kitchens. In Europe, it wouldn't cut. The oil itself is not the problem. It's the propellants. Things like butane, propane, and isobutane. The same gases used for grills and lighters. Here, it's marketed as a heart-smart cooking solution with 0 calories. Over there, the question is simple. Why spray your skillet with lighter fluid cousins? Inhalation risk aside, trace residues can cling to food. And that's enough for European regulators to say no. And about that 0-calorie promise, it hinges on a serving size defined as a quarter-second spray. Realistically, you'd need a stopwatch and ninja reflexes to stay within that. For everyone else, your 0 becomes calories plus propellant in a hurry. The label math works. The kitchen reality doesn't. Let's talk about something that looks sweet and harmless. Annie's organic bunny fruit snacks. Those adorable gummy rabbits promise real fruit juice and organic vibes. In Europe, many versions of candies like these are reformulated to avoid artificial dyes and certain additives. Or they carry attention-related warnings for kids, the bright colors that make children grab handfuls. In the US, they may include synthetic dyes like Red 40 or Yellow 5. In parts of Europe, labels warn that these colors can affect behavior or attention in children. The kind of message that makes parents pause, and the word organic. It often covers specific ingredients, not the entire formulation. Sweeteners, colors, and stabilizers can still slide through. It's like sprinkling kale over a donut and calling it a superfood. The bigger story is that many major brands manufacture cleaner versions for European markets. Proof they can do better when required. Walk a few aisles down and you'll spot Veggie straws beaming with health halo marketing. Bright carrots and spinach in the bag. The word Veggie is in bold, but flip the label and the illusion collapses. They're mostly potato starch, cornstarch, and oil, with a whisper of powdered vegetables so the packaging can legally say, made with vegetables. Across the Atlantic, that kind of branding draws scrutiny. Regulators expect images and claims to match what's inside. Veggie in the picture? Then there should be meaningful vegetables in the product, not a trace amount for optics. Nutrition-wise, many veggie snacks have less fiber than white bread. The colors are artificial, the flavors engineered, and the health story is paper-thin. Europe says, no thanks. We stock up by the case, convinced they're better than chips. Now, shift to something that looks truly wholesome, bread. If there's one grocery item that screams healthy in big letters, it's the multi-grain, organic, heart-smart loaf. Enter Dave's Killer Bread, the rock star of Costco's bakery aisle. The packaging flexes, 21 whole grains, organic, non-GMO. It has a loyal fan base for a reason. So why would Europe keep its distance? Not because they dislike whole grains. They love them. It's about fortification strategy, particularly synthetic folic acid. US products are often heavily fortified to cover population-wide nutrition gaps. Europe, on balance, caps or controls fortification more tightly, preferring people to meet needs through a varied diet first, cautious about overconsumption through stacking fortified foods. Each slice can deliver a sizable percentage of daily folic acid. 2 slices at lunch, cereal at breakfast, a bar in the afternoon. You can sail past 100% well before dinner. The concern in Europe isn't panic, it's prudence. They lean toward prove it's safe long term instead of prove it's dangerous, especially for cumulative exposures. Different philosophy, different formulas, same brand name. If that raised an eyebrow, wait for the bottled wellness section. Naked green machine and similar green smoothies. The label looks so healthy that it lowers your blood pressure just reading it. In reality, many popular bottled blends pack sugar levels that rival soda. Even when the sugar is naturally occurring from concentrated fruit bases, you get sweetness, not satiety. And while the label touts vitamins and antioxidants, European markets scrutinize synthetic vitamin forms, natural flavors, and color tweaks more closely, favoring simpler ingredient decks that mirror real food. And natural flavors? That term can legally cover dozens of lab-processed substances under one friendly phrase. If you can't tell which botanicals were used, that's a transparency problem. The green glow sells a feeling. The formulation often sells a shortcut. Let's spread into something most Costco loyalists treat as sacred: Kirkland organic peanut butter. The label is perfect minimalism, just peanuts and salt. So what's the European hesitation? It isn't about the ingredient list, it's about contaminant controls, specifically aflatoxins, toxic compounds that can form when peanuts are stored in warm, humid conditions. The US allows trace levels within established limits. Europe's limits are generally tighter, and batch-level screening can be more exhaustive. To be clear, most jars are fine, but the European stance is that with a known, cumulative risk, you create a regime where every batch clears a very high bar, or it doesn't get in. Different regulators, different lines in the sand, same staple on your toast each morning. Speaking of daily habits, let's look at Kirkland Daily Multivitamins. They look harmless. Bright bottle bold claims. Enough nutrients to make you feel like a superhero. The caveat: European regulators removed titanium dioxide, an opaque whitening agent, from foods due to precautionary concerns about long-term accumulation and potential genotoxicity. It adds no nutrition, just a bright white finish. Over there, if an additive's benefit is cosmetic, and the safety debate won't settle, they cut it. Beyond that, many daily multis stack synthetic dyes and high-dose nutrients that can push your totals over safe upper limits when combined with a US diet already rich in fortified staples. Optimization on the label can become overload in real life, especially when your breakfast, lunch, and snacks are fortified too. We're not done. The deeper we go, the clearer the pattern becomes. From protein bars built on artificial sweeteners to bread boosted with synthetic fortificants. From organic snacks dressed in chemical colors to juices that rival soda for sugar, the theme is consistent. Europe doesn't wait for a crisis to act. It sets airtight rules and expects brands to meet them. In the US, we often play the prove it's dangerous game, while Europe plays prove it's safe. If you want more breakdowns like this, brand by brand, aisle by aisle, hit subscribe to Frugal Finds for you. We'll keep decoding labels so your budget buys better food, not better marketing. Let's hit the fitness aisle, where American optimism meets powdered protein and shiny promises. You know the staple. Organic protein powder that claims to be clean, plant-based, and doctor-formulated. The holy trinity of health marketing. Here's the European speed bump. That organic halo often hides controversial thickeners like carrageenan in some products. Yes, it comes from seaweed, and yes, it sounds natural. But it's been linked in certain contexts to gut irritation and inflammation, which prompted bans in sensitive categories like infant formulas in parts of Europe. When your product pitches gut health, a potential gut irritant raises eyebrows. Then there's the heavy metal story. Independent tests on assorted protein powders in the US have detected traces of lead, cadmium, and arsenic, typically low, rarely overtly dangerous in a single serving. But Europe's contaminant thresholds are tighter, and cumulative exposure across multiple products matters. If your smoothie is a daily ritual, those trace amounts merit attention. And we can't forget the catch-all cloak, natural flavors. It can legally mask dozens of processing aids and derivatives under one line item. If you can't identify the plant or process behind the flavor, a European buyer asks, then why should it be there? Cool down with something that seems safe. A tub of Kirkland Greek yogurt with fruit thick, creamy, topped with berries that look like they fell off a postcard from Santorini. The packaging says, authentic Greek taste. European rules say, define authentic. In Europe, traditional Greek yogurt is strained, delivering higher protein through technique, not thickeners. Many mass-market US Greek yogurts lean on stabilizers to mimic that texture, which wouldn't pass as Greek under stricter definitions abroad. Now look at the ingredients. Fruit swirls sometimes include high fructose corn syrup or synthetic colorants like Red 40 or Yellow 6 in US versions. In parts of Europe, those dyes require warning labels about potential effects on children's behavior. Even the probiotic counts, the live cultures that make yogurt beneficial, can crash during long storage and transit. By the time a tub reaches your fridge, the live culture party can be winding down healthy on the front. Heavily processed in the fine print. Zoom out. From bars laced with artificial sweeteners, to bread stacked with fortificants, to organic snacks wearing chemical makeup, to juices disguised as wellness. The pattern holds. Europe didn't block certain formulas because it hates Costco. It blocked them because it doesn't gamble with public health. Meanwhile, in the US, we too often accept the label as the truth: organic, natural, green. The words are comforting. But comfort isn't the same as clarity. And here's the wild part. Many of these same brands already sell cleaner versions overseas. They know how to formulate stricter standards. They simply don't have to hear unless we demand it. Now let's circle back and go a little deeper. product by product, so you can spot red flags the next time you're cruising the warehouse Kirkland protein bars. The deeper dive. If the sweeteners and synthetic fiber mixes make your stomach flip, try a whole food bar instead. Look for nuts, dates, oats, and real fruit. Fewer lines on the label usually means fewer surprises for your gut. In Europe, that simpler profile is the default, not the exception. Cooking sprays, the practical fix. If propellants bug you, swap to a pump spray bottle you refill with olive or avocado oil. You get a fine mist, no gases, and honest calories you can track. Fruit snacks, the kid test. If dyes are a worry, scan for beet, carrot, turmeric, spirulina, or paprika extracts. They're real pigments with a real botanical source. If a snack glows like a highlighter, your label probably will too. Veggie straws, the snack swap. If you want crunch and fiber, pick chickpea puffs, lentil crisps, or roasted nuts. Real legumes beat potato starch every time. Bread, the daily habit. If fortification stacking concerns you, rotate in a scratch-baked loaf with minimal enrichment, or bake a simple, no-knead boule. 2 flours, water, salt, and yeast. Big flavor, clean label, small price. Green smoothies, the bottle dilemma. If sugar is creeping up, buy a blender bottle and freeze spinach, kale, mango, and blueberries in portions. Add water, blend, and drink. 2 minutes. No mystery. Peanut butter. Storage matters. Keep the jar cool and dark. Stir well to reduce surface oil. Buy smaller jars if it takes you months to finish one. Fresh turnover helps. Multivitamins. Rethink the routine. Rather than mega doses, consider targeted supplements guided by a blood panel and your doctor's advice. More isn't always better. Better is better protein powder. Heavy metal reality check. Rotate brands and look for those that publish batch-specific test results. Variety lowers the risk of repeated exposure from a single-source Greek yogurt. Culture counts. Choose short ingredient lists and unsweetened bases. Add real fruit and honey at home. You control the sugar and keep the cultures humming. At this point, some of you might be thinking, great, so is everything unsafe? No, the point is not panic. The point is pattern recognition. Europe writes the playbook to avoid long-term risks from the start. The US corrects course later, sometimes much later. Both systems care about safety. They just prioritize differently. If you want the Frugal Finds For You checklist for safer swaps at Costco, bars, yogurt, bread, oils, and snacks, subscribe now. We'll drop a printable guide in an upcoming video so you can shop with confidence and save money doing it. Before we wrap, here are a few more Costco healthy staples that often look different across borders. Yogurt-coated snacks. That glossy white yogurt shell is usually a confectionery coating. Sugar, palm oil, milk powder, emulsifiers, not actual strained yogurt. Europe expects clarity. Call candy candy. Here the word yogurt softens the blow. Plant-based milks. Carrageenan and certain gums show up often in US cartons to build body and prevent separation. In European markets, brands lean more on straightforward formulations, shorter lists, and different stabilizer choices, or they strain and homogenize differently. Electrolyte drinks and energy shots, artificial colors, synthetic caffeine boosters, and flavor systems are more tightly specified abroad. Here, the rainbow cells. Over there, the label explains. Breakfast cereals. Fortified to the moon in the US. Often toned down and reformulated for Europe. Less sugar, fewer colors. Stricter claims. Same mascot, cleaner recipe. Granola and protein cereals. Watch for syrup blends, inulin overload, and novelty. Protein isolates that make the numbers look heroic. While your stomach pays the price, European rules push manufacturers to deliver benefits without smoke and mirrors. So what's the play if you love Costco and still want the healthiest cart in the warehouse? 1. Read the back of the box, not the front. Front of pack words are advertising. The ingredient list is the truth. 2. Count sources, not just grams. 16 grams of fiber from chicory extract hits differently than 8 grams from oats and 8 from legumes. 3. watch the stack. If your day runs on fortified cereal, enriched bread, multivitamins, and fortified beverages, you might be overshooting certain nutrients. Balance matters. 4. Prefer methods over magic. Strained yogurt beats thickened yogurt. Strained broth beats natural flavor soup. Cold-pressed oil beats something that starts in a lab. 5. Rotate brands. It lowers the chance of repeated exposure to the same trace contaminant and gives you leverage as a buyer. Brands notice when shoppers vote with their carts. 6. Ask for data. Some companies publish batch-level heavy metal tests, pesticide screens, or microbiology reports. Reward the ones who do. 7. Store smart. Peanuts, spices, oils, and whole grains last longer and safer in cool, dark places. Your pantry is part of food safety. Let's be crystal clear. This isn't about fear, it's about standards. Europe draws a tighter circle around what's allowed in mass-market food. The US gives companies more runway and revises later if needed. That gap explains why the same brand can look virtuous in one country and questionable in another. Not because the science changes at the border, but because the policy does. And that's why your choices matter. When shoppers insist on simpler labels, cleaner colors, and honest textures, companies respond. We've watched it happen with artificial trans fats, with certain dyes, with preservatives that quietly disappeared after enough consumers asked hard questions. Health shouldn't depend on the continent you're standing on. It should depend on transparent formulas and sensible guardrails, no matter where you shop. If this video made you rethink even one healthy product in your pantry, consider that a Win Knowledge is the best coupon you'll ever clip. From protein bars sweetened with chemistry, to cooking sprays propelled by gases, to gummy snacks that glow brighter than a highlighter, to breads and cereals fortified past common sense, to yogurts that flex a Greek accent but skip the Greek method. The lesson is simple. Don't confuse marketing with meaning. Don't confuse organic with unprocessed. Don't confuse natural flavors with nature. Read, compare, choose. Your cart is a vote. Your receipt is a message. And remember, at Frugal Finds for You, we believe spending smart starts with knowing the truth, even when the truth is hiding behind a nutrition label. Stay sharp, stay skeptical, and don't forget, what's legal isn't always what's healthy. Thanks for watching. If this helped, subscribe to Frugal Finds for You for more deep dives, safer swaps, and wallet-wise wins every single week.